Can the underdog Fluff 2C Plus outshine the mighty Neural DSP Mesa Boogie Suite, as they both aim to capture the magic of the Mesa Boogie Mark IIC Plus?
Let's get ready to rumble!
Today we are putting these two amp plugins head to head. Which one truly delivers and deserves your hard-earned cash? Let's find out. So on this side we have the Fluff 2C Plus, inspired by Ryan Fluff Bruce's favorite Californian guitar tones. It features a lead, shred, and clean presets. Built on ML Sound Labs' Verona amp modeling, it offers tube amplifier quality sound. The 3D cabinet simulator allows customizable tones with mega oversized and mega traditional cabinets. It also offers multiple mic options and user-loaded IRs, plus a pedal board packed with effects like noise gate, compressor, drive, chorus, analog delay, and reverb. Then on the other side we have the Mesa Boogie Mark IIC Plus suite. Inspired by Metallica's Kirk Hammett and James Hetfield, it aims to recreate the iconic amp with switchable lead rhythm channels and enhanced 2C++ preamp circuitry. It features pre-effects like compressor, overdrive, and chorus, a 5-band EQ, presence, reverb, power amp technology, and a 9-band EQ for precise adjustment. The cab sim includes IRs from 5x5 studios and virtual mics, plus post effects like stereo delay and classic hall reverbs, all in a standalone app. So for this showdown, we're going to do a blind sound test. I'll explain the settings for each of the tones and let you guys hear the results. I want you guys to pick up your favorite tone for each matchup. At the end, I'm going to reveal which amp was used where, and show off my favorite tone for each plugin in a full demo mix that has no post-processing. The only variable I'm changing for each plugin is the amps. I bypassed the cabs, pedals, and effects to try and give you guys the most accurate representation of both of these amps. On both tracks, we're using NAT-IR, and I've loaded one single IR on them, and took away all the effects that NAT-IR could add onto it. So once again, just the only thing that's changing is the amp. So for tones 1, 2, 3, and 5, I use my Solar GC 1.6 TVR with the Duncan Solar pickups. So with this guitar, I just recorded a simple DI, and I just switched over that DI for each amp. So for tone 4, I use my ESP LTD EC256, and I believe it just has the generic ESP pickups in it. Although these riffs are pre-recorded, to switch up the visual for you guys, I'm just using different guitars in the playthrough video. That doesn't mean I'm switching the guitars for the actual DI recordings. I just wanted to give you guys a more visually appealing thing for when we're just listening to the guitar tones. But I only use the Solar and the LTD for all the DIs to try and eliminate as many variables as possible. But to make it more visually appealing, I'm just switching between guitars. But it's not going to affect the sound whatsoever. This is the first tone we're going to look at. They're both clean tones. I used to use generic presets from both of the plugins, so they might sound the most different, but I think they sound really good. I think I tried to match them pretty closely, but they're not going to be 100%. I just wanted to show you guys nothing on the pedal board. Nothing on the pedal board.
Are you fucking stupid?
My bad.
Cabs bypassed. And then if we come over here to the NAT-IR, I got rid of everything. No scoop, just everything 100% that way. No room. Everything the same. So I just used the plus clean here. I tried to tone match to the other one. They're gonna sound different. I think that's okay for this one, because once we get to the distorted ones, it's gonna sound pretty similar to each other. So for this one, I just used the plus clean. Here are all the settings for it. I'll show you. Nothing on the cabs, no EQ, nothing here. Completely bypass that, and then exact same settings in NAT-IR. So here's the first tone comparison between the clean tones on the Fluff 2C Plus and the Neural DSP. And remember, this can be a blind sound test, so you're not going to know which one is which until the end. So now we're going to move on to the second tone that I created. This one, everything at noon. So everything's at 5. EQ is all the same. Again, there's the cab, pedals, NAT-IR. Literally everything at 5 for this one. And then same thing for the Neural DSP. Everything at 5, cabs, and then NAT-IR completely the same. So here's both A and B for the everything at noon tone. And then next, because this is, in my opinion, the Metallica amp, I had to make a Metallica tone for this one. Once again, tried to match the tones as closely as possible, so I give the best representation for you guys. So here's the settings for the Fluff 2C Plus. Again, cab bypass, nothing on the pedal board, and then NAT-IR is exactly the same. Okay, so here's the Master Puppets tone on the Neural DSP, everything's bypassed, NAD IR. So now here's the A and B for the Master Puppet Stone. So the next one I wanted to do was Lima God Tone. So here's the settings for that. Nothing in the cab, nothing on the pedal board. NAD IR exactly the same. Now here's the settings on the Neural DSP. All the amp settings, everything bypassed, and then NAD IR. So here's the AB between this tone. Now for this last one, I just took a preset from the Neural DSP and tried to match it on the Fluff 2C Plus. So here's the settings for that. Nothing in the cabs. This one does have a little bit of drive on it because I believe it has it on the Neural DSP one, but other than that, everything is exactly the same. So here's the Neural DSP one. I used the boosted boogie preset. Just try to match this tone on the Fluff. So yeah, the overdrive is on right here, but nothing else. Try to match the settings here. And then here is the NAD IR. So here's the AB between this tone. So here's a breakdown of all the tones and which amp was amp A at certain points and which amp was amp B at certain points. I decided to switch which one was played first, which one was played second, so that you guys would try and formulate a better opinion on it and not just trying to guess, oh, this one's the Mesa Boogie each time and this one's the Fluff 2C Plus each time. I wanted you guys to try and make a more fair assessment for yourselves. So what did you guys think? Which amp was your favorite? Did you like both of them? Were you surprised by anything? And did you guess it right each time? So now that we've got that out of the way, I want to give a full representation of what each amp can do. It's going to be in a full demo mix, but I do not know how to mix at all, so there's no real mixing on it. I just put a compressor on the drums, and that was it. There's no post-processing on the guitars whatsoever. So I just picked my favorite presets from the Fluff 2C Plus, and I picked my favorite preset from the Neural DSP, and I just put it in a full demo mix for you. So I recorded 3 rhythm tracks, 2 going left and right at 85%, and 1 down the center at -6 dB. So first, here's the Fluff 2C Plus tone with the 2C lead preset. And then we have the Neural DSP with the Metal Up Your preset. Honestly, I was pretty surprised by how similar each amp is. I isolated every variable that I could, and I tone matched them the best that I could as well. Both plugins are pretty impressive and worth the investment, but they do have some key differences. The Fluff 2C Plus is friendlier and more affordable. However, it does lack all the features of the Neural DSP, so you're definitely going to need additional plugins to match its capabilities. And while it is simpler to use, I don't think it has as high of a ceiling for potential tones like the Neural DSP does. Then on the other hand, we have the Neural DSP Mesa Boogie Mark IIC Plus suite. It's really powerful and has a lot of clarity, and it has a high potential for being able to create a diverse amount of tones. It also has a lot of unique features, but is way more expensive because of that. And just like the real Mesa Boogie amp, it is very finicky, while the Fluff 2C Plus is a lot easier to use. So the Neural DSP is going to need a lot more tweaking to get the tone that you want. Overall, both amps have their own pros and cons, but I definitely would recommend both. I think it just depends on your situation and how much money you're willing to spend, but I do think they're both very high quality. So if you enjoyed this video, I have a video right here and a video right here where the top one, I used the Fluff 2C Plus to try and recreate the tones from Master Puppets using Flaming Rasmussen's notes. I definitely could do a little bit better now, but I do really like the results that I got then. And then on this video, I used the Neural DSP Mesa Boogie Mark IIC Plus suite to create 4 different tones, 3 for Metallica albums, and 1 for Lamb of God, and I really do like the results I got with that. So if you enjoyed this video, I think you might enjoy that one. Thank you for all your support so far. I'll see you in the next video. Peace!